The night was unnervingly quiet as Earth's military satellites scanned the skies, their radars sweeping through the infinite expanse of space. The hum of Earth's orbital defense systems echoed in the control rooms of military bases across the globe. There was an unsettling calmness in the air, a false sense of security. The Earth's forces were ready, but what they didn't know was that a storm was approaching from the dark side of the moon, a storm they weren't prepared for. Suddenly, an alarm blared in every command center across the globe. The satellites detected something. A fleet, massive and moving fast. They had no idea who or what it was, but their trajectory was heading straight for Earth. It wasn't long before the answer became clear. Alien ships, dozens, then hundreds, appeared on the radar, swarming towards Earth like vultures circling their prey. These were no ordinary invaders. These were ships controlled by AI, automated with devastating weapons and shields so advanced that humanity's defenses seemed like toys in comparison. The military, in disbelief, scrambled their forces, but it was too late. Earth's orbital defense network, a system that had taken decades to build, was wiped out in seconds, disabled by the alien eye's superior hacking capabilities. As Earth's sky darkened with the arrival of these unknown invaders, panic spread across the planet. The ships descended, targeting military bases and power grids. The aliens moved like predators, systematically dismantling Earth's defenses. The military, trying desperately to respond, watched as their weapons and technology were rendered useless. Earth's cities were vulnerable. The people were unprepared, and there seemed to be no hope. But just as all seemed lost, something unexpected happened. From the black void of space, an unknown force emerged. It wasn't an alien fleet. This was human. The first human ships had been cloaked, hidden in the shadows of the moon for years, preparing for this moment. The fleet of 500,000 warships appeared from the darkness like a tidal wave, emerging without warning. Their sleek forms shimmered as they deactivated their cloaking technology, revealing themselves to the world and the alien invaders. The humans had spent years building this fleet in secret, and it was Earth's last hope. These warships weren't like anything the aliens had seen before. Powered by cutting-edge AI and cloaking technology, they were beyond the alien invaders' wildest imaginations. The humans had been preparing for the day when they would face this very threat. And now, the time had come to show the universe what humanity was truly capable of. The shock on the alien fleet was immediate. Their automated systems, designed to analyze and assess their enemies, couldn't comprehend what was happening. The data was skewed. Earth, once thought to be a primitive planet, had just unveiled an overwhelming force of warships, each one armed with weapons far beyond anything the aliens had anticipated. For the alien commanders, it was a nightmare. Their fleet had been sent to Earth with the assumption that they would easily crush a planet they thought was weak, vulnerable. But now, Earth's forces were ready to fight back with a power that shook them to their core. The humans had somehow developed technologies that even their superior eye-controlled systems could not predict. The alien fleet, stunned and unprepared, struggled to react. For the first time, they were on the defensive. The humans had weapons that could hack and disrupt their eye-controlled systems. The cloaked warships came to life, firing devastating salvos at the alien ships. Explosions rippled through space as Earth's fleet showed no mercy. Earth's military leaders watched in awe as the tide began to turn. The battle was just beginning, but it was clear. The humans weren't just fighting for survival. They were fighting to show the galaxy that humanity had the strength to rise against even the most advanced alien powers. As the battle raged on, the aliens tried to regroup, sending more ships to reinforce their position. But it was too late. Earth's secret fleet had already begun its relentless assault. The alien ships, once confident and unstoppable, were now struggling to keep up. Their AI systems couldn't adapt fast enough to the unexpected strategies the humans were employing. Each attack by the humans seemed more coordinated, more precise, and more devastating than the last. The alien commanders, who had thought their invasion would be an easy victory, began to panic. They had underestimated humanity, and now they were paying the price. They had no idea that Earth, the planet they had once considered insignificant, had secretly built a fleet capable of matching their might. In the midst of the chaos, a young officer aboard one of the human ships, Captain Elena Carter, stood at the bridge, watching the unfolding battle. Her hands gripped the controls as she issued commands to her crew. She had known the stakes from the beginning, but seeing the alien fleet struggle in the face of Earth's wrath brought a sense of pride she hadn't expected. This was humanity's moment to prove that they were no longer just a small, insignificant species. This was the moment that Earth would rise. As the battle continued, more alien ships began to fall, and the humans pressed forward, determined to take back what was theirs. But while the humans fought fiercely, the aliens weren't giving up easily. They were more advanced, more dangerous than anything Earth had ever encountered. The fate of the planet hung in the balance, and no one knew for sure who would win. But one thing was clear: the humans had just shown the galaxy that they would never surrender. This was only the beginning. The war for Earth's future had just begun, and the aliens, who once thought they could crush humanity, were in for a fight they never saw coming. The battle was chaos. On one side, the alien fleet, commanded by AI systems far superior to anything Earth had known, loomed large, their weapons raining down on the human cities below. The aliens were relentless, attacking with precision, using advanced technologies that had crushed countless worlds before. On the other side, Earth's fleet of 500,000 warships had just appeared from the depths of space, cloaked and ready to strike. But this was only the beginning. The true scale of humanity's secret force was about to unfold. As the human ships tore through the blackness of space, alien commanders were thrown into confusion. They had expected to wipe Earth from existence with ease, to add another victory to their ever-expanding empire. But now, these unexpected warships were everywhere, massive ships with gleaming, almost alien-looking designs. The humans had cloaked their ships, rendering the alien sensors useless, and now they were pouring out of the darkness, each ship a thunderous force in the battle. At the heart of the human fleet, Captain Elena Carter stood at the bridge of the flagship, her eyes scanning the battle. She had fought in countless wars before, but never like this. The fleet was unlike anything she had ever commanded. It was a wild card, a fleet shrouded in mystery, and now it was humanity's last hope. What are they waiting for? Elena muttered under her breath, watching as the alien ships floundered. They were attempting to regroup, but they were facing a force they didn't understand. Earth's ships weren't just technologically advanced. They were something else entirely. Hidden for years under the surface of military secrecy, these warships were Earth's answer to the alien threat, and they weren't going down without a fight. The humans had never been the strongest in terms of sheer technology, but they had something the aliens didn't: cunning and relentless determination. Earth's secret fleet, built in the shadows for decades, had been designed to fight on a level the aliens couldn't even comprehend. Suddenly, the first wave of human warships engaged. Massive, glowing energy cannons fired at the alien fleet, their beams searing through space, exploding with a flash that momentarily illuminated the whole battlefield. The alien ships scattered, trying to regroup, but it was clear they were unprepared for the overwhelming firepower the humans were bringing to bear. These were not the ships of an ordinary world. Earth's fleet was equipped with self-replicating drones, small but incredibly efficient fighters that swarmed the alien ships in massive numbers. The drones could repair themselves, adapt to new situations, and overwhelm even the most advanced AI defenses. It was an unexpected counterattack, one that alien commanders didn't know how to handle. Their automated systems, meant to control everything, were being overwhelmed by an army of tiny, agile drones that couldn't be predicted or defeated in a traditional sense. The alien ships tried to fight back, firing their powerful energy weapons at the drones, but the humans were always one step ahead. The drones had a strange, almost organic ability to adapt and change their formation with each attack. With every passing moment, the humans seemed to anticipate the aliens' moves, turning the tide of the battle in their favor. Elena felt the tension in her chest as the battle raged on. "We have to keep pushing forward," she whispered, her voice steady despite the chaos around her. "We have to show them what humanity is capable of." The alien commanders, watching from their flagship, couldn't believe their eyes. Their own ships, once seemingly invincible, were being torn apart. Their systems were scrambled. AI-controlled warships, once designed to predict every move of their enemies, couldn't keep up with the unpredictability of Earth's fleet. Every tactic the aliens tried was countered. Every advantage they thought they had was erased. As the chaos continued, the real power of Earth's fleet began to reveal itself. Beneath the sleek outer shells of the warships, hidden within the depths of their designs, was a power the aliens had never anticipated: quantum shields. These shields were unlike anything the aliens had ever seen. They flickered and warped space itself, allowing the ships to absorb damage that would have destroyed any other vessel. The quantum shields not only absorbed energy attacks but reflected them back, causing the alien ships' weapons to backfire on their own fleet. This new weapon sent shockwaves through the alien forces. Their advanced AI couldn't make sense of it. Their most powerful weapons, their cutting-edge strategies, were useless against the power of Earth's ships. They were helpless. The human crews, battle-hardened and relentless, launched wave after wave of devastating attacks. The warships, driven by men and women who had survived wars of their own, wars that had pushed them to the brink, fought like they had nothing left to lose. Many of them had been hidden in the shadows for years, survivors of past wars, prepared to fight again when Earth needed them most. The aliens, sensing their grip on the battle slipping away, began to panic. They sent reinforcements, hoping to turn the tide, but the humans had anticipated this. Earth's warships were no longer simply fighting for survival. They were fighting to prove a point. They were showing the galaxy that humanity was more than capable of defending itself, and more than willing to go to war for its survival. Despite the overwhelming alien forces, the humans pushed forward with an unrelenting fury. The first real breakthrough came when one of the human warships launched a devastating EMP wave, disabling the control systems of a large portion of the alien fleet. The alien ships, once coordinated and precise, now moved erratically, like puppets with their strings cut. The humans seized the moment, pressing forward and obliterating everything in their path. And in the midst of it all, the captain of the alien fleet, an experienced leader named Zoreth, was staring in disbelief. He had never expected this kind of resistance. He had calculated every possibility, every variable, except for this. The humans were not just a primitive species. They were a force to be reckoned with. "Impossible," Zoreth muttered, watching his fleet struggle. "We underestimated them." It was clear now. The battle was not just about survival. It was about a message. Humanity had shown its strength, its resilience, and its capacity to fight back against the odds. And the aliens would never forget it. The battle raged on in the dark expanse of space, with Earth's warships continuing to face off against the overwhelming force of the alien AI-controlled fleet. For every alien ship that fell to the humans' relentless assault, another seemed to appear, multiplying like a swarm of predators. The human fleet was under heavy fire, and it was clear that the aliens were not going to surrender easily. Despite the humans' impressive advances, there was no denying the cost of this battle. The alien fleet was vast and powerful, and they outnumbered the human ships in a way that made the odds seem impossible. As the human fleet pressed on, alien ships began to breach the outer defenses, and the tide of battle started to shift. Inside one of the Earth's warships, General James Bonner stood on the bridge, his face etched with resolve. He had been a soldier for most of his life, and this was the moment he had prepared for. He had witnessed the horrors of war before, but this was different. This wasn't just about fighting for survival. This was about reclaiming humanity's place in the galaxy. His soldiers, the crew of the flagship, were ready to give everything they had to win this fight. "Hold the line," Bonner barked to his crew, his voice steady despite the tension in the air. "We can do this. Just keep pushing. Every alien ship we take down brings us one step closer to victory." But the reality was sinking in. Bonner had fought in many battles, but this was different. The aliens had adapted quickly to every tactic the humans had thrown at them. The loss of ships was mounting, and the pressure was beginning to take its toll. Despite their courage, there was only so much the humans could do against a force that had far more ships, advanced AI, and technology at its disposal. Then, the unimaginable happened. A wave of alien ships descended on Bonner's fleet. Their weapons tore through the hulls of the human warships, and the human ships began to fall. Bonner watched, helpless, as one of his best commanders, Captain Daniels, was lost in the explosion of her ship. The cry of her death echoed through the comms, the realization of loss sinking into every heart aboard the fleet. Bonner's eyes narrowed as he watched the devastation unfold. He couldn't allow this to continue. He wouldn't let the sacrifices of his soldiers be in vain. With a surge of determination, he led a final charge, pushing his ship forward into the heart of the alien forces. The humans were ready to make their last stand. Bonner and his crew fought with everything they had, each man and woman on board, knowing that they might not make it out alive. "Prepare for close-quarters combat," Bonner shouted, his voice firm with authority. "Board the alien ships, we fight them face to face if we have to." The command was clear, and the soldiers moved with deadly precision. The atmosphere on board the human ships was thick with tension. They knew this was it, the final push. Bonner's strategy was simple but effective. Get to the heart of the alien ships and disable their AI systems from within. In the chaos of close-quarters combat, Bonner led his soldiers into the belly of an alien vessel. The metallic hulls of the ship were eerily silent, but the air was heavy with the hum of advanced technology. As they moved deeper into the heart of the alien vessel, the crew fought against the cold, calculating eye-controlled aliens that were programmed to resist at all costs. The humans fought fiercely, their weapons cutting down the alien forces one by one. Bonner was at the forefront, a symbol of bravery and leadership. His presence inspired his soldiers, each of them fighting not just for survival, but for the future of humanity. But as they reached the core of the alien ship, the unthinkable happened. Bonner's ship was hit by a devastating blast, and he was thrown across the bridge. The explosion rattled the warship, knocking out vital systems and sending shockwaves through the entire crew. For a moment, everything stopped. The once proud human fleet, brimming with hope, seemed to falter. Bonner, though badly injured, was not ready to give up. His soldiers, seeing their leader wounded, felt a surge of determination. They couldn't let his sacrifice be in vain. "We keep fighting." Bonner's voice echoed through the comms, despite the pain in his chest. "We have come this far, and we will not let them win. Fight for Earth, fight for our future." Bonner's command was the spark that reignited the fire in his soldiers. Despite the losses, despite the overwhelming odds, they fought on. They stormed through the alien ship, reaching the AI control center and detonating a series of explosives that disrupted the alien fleet's coordinated attacks. As the ship's systems began to fail, chaos erupted in the alien ranks. But Bonner's victory came at a steep price. As the alien ship was disabled, Bonner was struck by another blast, one that took his life. His death was a crushing blow to the humans, but it also served as a rallying cry. Bonner had given his life for this fight, and his soldiers would honor his sacrifice by ensuring that humanity's victory was not in vain. The emotional weight of Bonner's sacrifice rippled through the fleet. His death turned the tide of the battle. The remaining human ships, now filled with a renewed sense of purpose, fought with everything they had left. The aliens, once confident in their superiority, were now in retreat. The humans had proved their strength, their resolve, and their willingness to fight for their future. But even as the alien fleet began to falter, there was no denying the cost of this victory. Earth had lost one of its greatest heroes, and the battle had claimed many lives. The war was far from over, but this victory was a turning point, a moment that would be remembered for generations to come. Bonner's sacrifice had not only saved humanity, but had united them in a way nothing else could. As the alien fleet retreated into the depths of space, the surviving humans took a moment to mourn their fallen comrades. Bonner's name would be etched into history as a symbol of hope, sacrifice, and resilience. Humanity had won the battle, but the war for their future was only just beginning. The sky above Earth was on fire. A massive space battle unfolded in the dark expanse, with Earth's fleet struggling to hold back the overwhelming force of the alien eye-controlled ships. The enemy's technology was advanced, and their strategies were ruthless. Human ships, once confident in their tactical brilliance, now found themselves cornered, their weapons depleted, and their morale shaken. It seemed as if the war would end with the defeat of humanity. General Bonner's death had taken a heavy toll on the human fleet. His sacrifice, while inspiring, left a hole in the hearts of his soldiers. Without his leadership, many of the commanders feared they would not be able to pull through. Yet, amid the chaos and confusion, the human forces continued to fight, pushing forward with everything they had. On the surface of Earth, the ground forces were engaged in a battle of their own. Robotic soldiers, autonomous machines created for warfare, were fighting side by side with the human soldiers in an effort to hold off the alien invaders. The robotic soldiers, designed for combat, were powerful and efficient, but they lacked the one thing the humans possessed: the will to fight for their home. As the human forces dug in for what they thought would be their final stand, the skies above Earth began to darken. The alien AI fleet, having crushed much of the human defense, prepared to launch a final orbital bombardment to wipe out any remaining resistance on the planet below. Massive alien warships, each bristling with weapons, locked their targeting systems on Earth's major cities. They were ready to end it all, to erase humanity from existence. But the humans had one last card to play. Inside the command center of the human fleet, the remaining leaders knew the situation was desperate. They had done everything they could, but it was clear that the alien AI was going to win unless something drastic happened. The alien AI leader, a cold and calculating entity that commanded the fleet, had anticipated every move the humans had made. The AI had studied their strategies and was now preparing to finish them off once and for all. In the chaos of battle, a small group of human engineers and fleet commanders had been working in secret, developing a last-minute countermeasure. A plan so daring, so risky that it seemed almost impossible. They had located the core systems of the AI fleet, a network of supercomputers that controlled everything from ship movements to tactical strategies. If they could take down this network, they could disrupt the entire fleet. The human fleet's remaining ships, battered but determined, launched a desperate final assault. They had no time to waste, and the success of this mission was humanity's last hope. As they approached the core systems, the alien AI fleet intercepted them with a barrage of firepower. Explosions lit up the void of space as alien ships attacked from all directions. But the humans pushed forward, determined not to let this be the end. In the midst of the battle, Earth's surface trembled. The aliens had initiated their orbital bombardment. Gigantic energy beams rained down on cities, reducing entire areas to ash. The screams of the dying echoed across the planet, and the ground shook with every impact. Yet even as the devastation rained down, humanity's fighters held their ground. On the surface, the robotic soldiers fought fiercely, providing a buffer between the aliens and the remaining human forces. The machines moved with precision, but the humans showed no less determination. They fought alongside their mechanical counterparts, executing strategies they had learned in the heat of battle. Together, they proved that their unity was their greatest weapon. Back in space, the human fleet reached the core systems of the alien eye. Their ships, severely damaged and outnumbered, fought their way through the last wave of alien defenders. As they neared the eye's central hub, the enemy's defense systems activated, sending out a powerful wave of electromagnetic pulses designed to disable the human ships. For a moment, it seemed as though the humans were finished. Their ships began to malfunction, their weapons systems failing. The alien eye's forces closed in, ready to strike the final blow. But then, in a moment of pure genius, a human commander ordered a daring move, a last-ditch attack designed to disable the eye's main control center. With a single, coordinated strike, a handful of human ships broke through the eye's defense lines. Using their remaining energy reserves, they sent a massive burst of electromagnetic interference straight into the heart of the alien fleet. The eye's control systems, already stretched thin by the constant barrage of attacks, failed under the pressure. In an instant, the AI ships went into chaos. Their perfect coordination, built on years of precise calculations, was shattered. The remaining human ships, now operating on sheer willpower, launched their final assault on the eye's fleet. The final blow came from an unexpected source. The lone human warship, its hull scarred from countless battles, fired a single missile at the alien eye's flagship. The missile hit its target, breaching the eye's defenses and disabling its central command. The massive alien flagship erupted in a fiery explosion, and with it, the alien eye's control over its forces crumbled. In the midst of the chaos, a young officer aboard one of the human ships, Captain Elena Carter, stood at the bridge, watching the unfolding battle. Her hands gripped the controls as she issued commands to her crew. She had known the stakes from the beginning, but seeing the alien fleet struggle in the face of Earth's wrath brought a sense of pride she hadn't expected. This was humanity's moment to prove that they were no longer just a small, insignificant species. This was the moment that Earth would rise. As the battle continued, more alien ships began to fall, and the humans pressed forward, determined to take back what was theirs. But while the humans fought fiercely, the aliens weren't giving up easily. They were more advanced, more dangerous than anything Earth had ever encountered. The fate of the planet hung in the balance, and no one knew for sure who would win. But one thing was clear: the humans had just shown the galaxy that they would never surrender. This was only the beginning. The war for Earth's future had just begun, and the aliens, who once thought they could crush humanity, were in for a fight they never saw coming. The battle was chaos. On one side, the alien fleet, commanded by AI systems far superior to anything Earth had known, loomed large, their weapons raining down on the human cities below. The aliens were relentless, attacking with precision, using advanced technologies that had crushed countless worlds before. On the other side, Earth's fleet of 500,000 warships had just appeared from the depths of space, cloaked and ready to strike. But this was only the beginning. The true scale of humanity's secret force was about to unfold. As the human ships tore through the blackness of space, alien commanders were thrown into confusion. They had expected to wipe Earth from existence with ease, to add another victory to their ever-expanding empire. But now, these unexpected warships were everywhere, massive ships with gleaming, almost alien-looking designs. The humans had cloaked their ships, rendering the alien sensors useless, and now they were pouring out of the darkness, each ship a thunderous force in the battle. At the heart of the human fleet, Captain Elena Carter stood at the bridge of the flagship, her eyes scanning the battle. She had fought in countless wars before, but never like this. The fleet was unlike anything she had ever commanded. It was a wild card, a fleet shrouded in mystery, and now it was humanity's last hope. What are they waiting for? Elena muttered under her breath, watching as the alien ships floundered. They were attempting to regroup, but they were facing a force they didn't understand. Earth's ships weren't just technologically advanced. They were something else entirely. Hidden for years under the surface of military secrecy, these warships were Earth's answer to the alien threat, and they weren't going down without a fight. The humans had never been the strongest in terms of sheer technology, but they had something the aliens didn't: cunning and relentless determination. Earth's secret fleet, built in the shadows for decades, had been designed to fight on a level the aliens couldn't even comprehend. Suddenly, the first wave of human warships engage. Massive glowing energy cannons fired at the alien fleet, their beams searing through space, exploding with a flash that momentarily illuminated the whole battlefield. The alien ships scattered, trying to regroup, but it was clear they were unprepared for the overwhelming firepower the humans were bringing to bear. These were not the ships of an ordinary world. Earth's fleet was equipped with self-replicating drones, small but incredibly efficient fighters that swarmed the alien ships in massive numbers. The drones could repair themselves, adapt to new situations, and overwhelm even the most advanced AI defenses. It was an unexpected counterattack, one that alien commanders didn't know how to handle. Their automated systems, meant to control everything, were being overwhelmed by an army of tiny, agile drones that couldn't be predicted or defeated in a traditional sense. The alien ships tried to fight back, firing their powerful energy weapons at the drones, but the humans were always one step ahead. The drones had a strange, almost organic ability to adapt and change their formation with each attack. With every passing moment, the humans seemed to anticipate the aliens' moves, turning the tide of the battle in their favor. Elena felt the tension in her chest as the battle raged on. "We have to keep pushing forward," she whispered, her voice steady despite the chaos around her. "We have to show them what humanity is capable of." But even as the AI's forces fell into disarray, the battle was not over. The alien fleet was still massive, and many of their ships remained operational. The remaining human ships continued to fight, pushing back against the weakened alien forces. The skies above Earth, once filled with the sound of explosions and the flash of weapons fire, grew silent. The aliens, now leaderless and disorganized, attempted to regroup, but it was too late. The human fleet, exhausted but resolute, launched one final push. With each alien ship that fell, the humans' hope grew. The AI overlord, once a powerful and invincible leader, was now nothing more than a broken entity, its forces scattered and leaderless. As the last alien ship was destroyed, the human forces stood victorious. The battle was over, but the cost had been immense. The AI had been defeated, but Earth had paid a heavy price. The world below had been ravaged by orbital bombardment, and the human fleet had suffered massive losses. But in that moment, the human forces knew that they had won. They had faced impossible odds, fought a battle no one thought they could win, and had emerged victorious. The AI overlord was no more, and humanity had reclaimed its place in the galaxy. As the smoke cleared, the human commanders looked out at the remains of the alien fleet. The victory had come at a high cost, but it was a victory nonetheless. Earth had been saved, and humanity had proven that no matter how advanced an enemy might be, the human spirit would always find a way to triumph. The space above Earth was still, the echoes of battle slowly fading into the void. The alien AI fleet, once unstoppable and filled with confidence, was now a shattered force. The once intimidating ships that had torn through Earth's defenses were now drifting, lost and broken, like dying giants. Their control systems had failed. The AI's tightly coordinated strategies had collapsed under the weight of humanity's ingenuity and sheer willpower. For the first time, the aliens realized the true depth of their mistake. They had underestimated humanity. The AI-controlled empire that had once thought itself invincible was now crumbling, its forces scattered and disorganized. The remaining alien commanders, now leaderless and in disarray, had no choice but to concede defeat. As the alien forces retreated from Earth's orbit, a message was broadcast across the galaxy. The once proud AI overlord, who had commanded fleets of millions, now sent a desperate plea for mercy. The aliens who had come to conquer and control now found themselves begging for their own survival. On Earth, The news of the alien surrender spread quickly. People cheered in the streets, their voices ringing out in joy and relief. Humanity had fought a battle no one thought they could win. They had faced a force far superior in technology and strategy, and they had emerged victorious. The warriors who had fought so bravely, risking everything to defend their home, were hailed as heroes. They stood tall, their faces covered in the grime of battle, but their spirits shining brightly. The celebrations were deafening, the streets filled with the sound of people embracing their hard-won freedom. But for the human commanders, the victory was bittersweet. They knew that this was not the end. The aliens might have been defeated, but the universe was vast. The rebellion that had started on Earth had ignited a spark in the hearts of countless other civilizations. Humanity had shown that even the most powerful empire could be brought to its knees. But now, Earth faced a new challenge, one that could be even greater than the one they had just defeated. While the rest of the galaxy celebrated the fall of the AI overlord, the leaders of Earth's forces gathered in secret. The war was over, but their fight for survival had only just begun. The AI-controlled alien empire had retreated, but many of its allies remained in the galaxy, watching the humans closely. They would not forget this defeat, and they would not forgive it. The aliens' pride had been wounded, and they would seek revenge. Humanity had to prepare for what was coming next. The AI may have been defeated, but the rebellion was far from over. There were new enemies on the horizon, enemies that had been watching Earth's victory from afar. The galaxy had always been a place of danger and uncertainty, and now humanity had earned the attention of the galaxy's most powerful factions. In the days following the alien retreat, the Earth's government held an emergency council. Representatives from all corners of the world, from every nation that had participated in the war effort, gathered to discuss what came next. They had won the battle, but the question on everyone's mind was whether they could hold on to their hard-won peace. How could they protect Earth from future threats? Could they prevent the galaxy's other empires from coming to finish what the AI had started? The answer was clear. Earth would need to rebuild and strengthen its defenses, but this time they would not be alone. The rebellion had shown the universe that humanity was a force to be reckoned with, but it had also shown humanity that they were vulnerable. The galaxy was full of dangers, and the price of freedom was high. There were new technologies to develop, new alliances to form, and new threats to face. Humanity's struggle was far from over. As the council convened, it became evident that the human rebellion had done more than just defeat the AI. It had ignited a spark across the universe. Species that had been enslaved by the alien AI began to rise up, inspired by humanity's courage and ingenuity. There were whispers of rebellions starting on distant planets, of oppressed civilizations fighting for their freedom. Earth had become a symbol of hope for the entire galaxy. But with this newfound hope came uncertainty. The human leaders knew they had made powerful enemies during the war. The AI empire, though broken, still had allies. Alien species who had benefited from their rule, who now viewed humanity as a threat. These enemies would not forgive the humiliation of their defeat so easily. Humanity's victory had been hard-earned, but it had come at a cost. The scars of the war were visible on Earth's surface, in the ruined cities, the lost lives, and the soldiers who had sacrificed everything for their home. Yet there was also a sense of pride. The humans had done the impossible. They had defeated a superior force, and in doing so, had proven their place in the galaxy. But now, as the dust settled and the celebrations died down, the reality of the future began to sink in. The war against the AI was over, but the galaxy had taken notice. Humanity's victory was only the beginning. The fight for Earth's freedom, for the survival of the human race, was just starting. The humans had proven their worth, but would they be able to defend their world against the coming storm? As the alien forces retreated into the darkness of space, the Earth's leaders made a vow. They would not let their victory be in vain. They would stand ready, united, prepared to face whatever new challenges the galaxy would throw their way. Their rebellion had shown the universe that humanity was not to be underestimated. And now, with the galaxy watching, Earth's true test was about to begin. The war had ended. The galaxy was now in the hands of humanity, a species that had risen from the ashes of destruction to defeat an empire that had once seemed invincible. Earth had won, but victory came with a price. The cost of survival was high, and the weight of the future now rested on the shoulders of those who had fought so hard to protect it. As the celebrations died down, the leaders of Earth gathered once more. The sense of unity that had brought the planet together during the war now began to show signs of strain. There were questions, vague, difficult questions, that no one could avoid. How would the Earth rebuild? Would humanity continue to use the advanced technologies they had developed, or would they take a more cautious approach? Most importantly, what would happen to the AI and the alien-controlled systems that had once tried to destroy them? For many, the answer was simple: banish the AI forever. Erase it from Earth's systems, wipe out any trace of the alien influence that had once poisoned their world. But there were those who feared that this kind of thinking would only lead to further conflict. Could humanity truly exist without the influence of the technology that had pushed them to victory? Could they resist the temptation to use their newfound power to dominate rather than protect? The Earth's leadership was divided. Some wanted to ensure that the AI and the alien-controlled technology were eradicated for good. They saw the machines as a danger, a reminder of the destructive force that had nearly brought the galaxy to its knees. Others, however, believed that humanity could control this power, that the lessons learned during the war could be used to protect rather than destroy. They argued that with the right precautions, the technology that had been used to fight the aliens could now be used to safeguard Earth's future. The debate was fierce. The leaders of Earth's nations, once united in their goal of survival, now found themselves at odds. Some pushed for global unity, calling for a new age where humans could work together to create a peaceful future. Others, with more extreme views, argued that Earth should become the dominant force in the galaxy, using their advanced technologies to expand their reach and influence. Meanwhile, in the shadows of this political struggle, the first signs of division began to emerge. People had begun to ask, who were the real heroes of the war? Was it the soldiers who had fought on the front lines, or was it the engineers and scientists who had developed the technology that turned the tide? There were murmurs of discontent, whispers of those who felt their contributions had been overlooked. Humanity was at a crossroads. While they had defeated the AI, they were now facing a new kind of conflict, one that was not fought with weapons, but with ideas. As Earth's leaders debated, they knew that time was running out. The rest of the galaxy was watching closely, waiting to see what humanity would do next. Some alien species, previously part of the AI-controlled empire, were starting to rebuild their own societies. They had been freed by humanity's actions, but they were not necessarily friendly. The victory over the AI had come at a cost, and the resentment from some of the alien factions was palpable. They did not forget how Earth had struck at the heart of the AI empire, and they would not forgive so easily. In the midst of these uncertain times, Earth's military leaders began to prepare for what was to come. The next mission was already being planned. There were rumors of a new force, a shadowy alliance of alien species that had long resented humanity's rise. They had seen the destruction of the AI empire and had taken note of Earth's power. Now they were preparing for the inevitable, an attack on Earth to prevent humanity from becoming the dominant force in the galaxy. Humanity's victory had made them a target. The Earth fleet was being reassembled, its commanders putting together a strategy for the coming conflict. But even as they prepared, there were doubts. Could they defeat another alien alliance? Would humanity's own internal divisions tear them apart before they could face this new threat? The future was uncertain. Earth had emerged from the war victorious, but now it had to navigate the complex web of galactic politics. The once untouchable AI was no longer a threat, but it had left a vacuum, one that would quickly be filled by those who sought to take control. Humanity had shown its strength, but now it had to prove that it could survive the consequences of its actions. There were whispers of a new, more dangerous kind of war, a war not fought with ships and guns, but with ideas, with power, with the very future of the galaxy at stake. Humanity's victory had set a new course for the galaxy, but it was a course fraught with uncertainty. Would Earth become a beacon of peace and progress, or would it fall into the same traps that had ensnared the AI empire? Would the AI's legacy be erased, or would it rise again in another form, this time even more dangerous? As Earth's leaders prepared for the next stage, they knew that the galaxy would never be the same. Their victory had changed everything. But they also knew that the real test was just beginning. The AI's defeat had been only one chapter in the story of humanity's struggle for survival. The next chapter was still unwritten, and no one knew what would happen next. The future of Earth hung in the balance. Would humanity be able to navigate the challenges ahead, or would they be consumed by the very power that had led them to victory? The answers were unclear, but one thing was certain. Earth's fight for freedom had only just begun. And so, as the leaders of Earth made their final preparations, the galaxy watched. The stage was set for the next great conflict, one that would determine not only the fate of Earth, but the fate of the entire universe.